As part of the broadband data collection, entities had the opportunity to submit challenges and propose corrections to the information in the FCC's Broadband Serviceable Location Fabric. Service providers, governments, and other entities and organizations are able to submit bulk challenges to the fabric in the BDC system. Bulk fabric challenge data must be submitted in the BDC system via file upload and must conform to the data specifications. More information on the bulk fabric challenge process can be found online at the BDC Help Center at help.bdc.fcc.gov. After logging into the BDC and selecting your entity, you can begin the bulk fabric challenge process on the Submissions Dashboard page by clicking the Create Submission button. In the modal that appears, select Crowdsourced Challenge as your submission type, and then Bulk Fabric Challenge as your crowdsourced challenge type. Clicking the Create Submission button will close the modal and create a link to the Bulk Fabric Challenge page within this table. Simply click that Bulk Fabric Challenge link to proceed. This page is where you can begin entering your Bulk Fabric Challenge data. Upon your initial visit to the page, you will see two cards, a Submissions card and a Total Challenges card. The Submissions card will give you a total count of Bulk Fabric Challenge submissions you have filed from this entity. The FCC can review each individual submission from your FRN and can accept or reject your submission based on the data you've uploaded. This is depicted by the under review, accepted, and rejected counts here. It is important to remember that the counts in the submissions card represent the number of certified bulk fabric challenge filings your FRN has filed. The Total Challenges card displays the count of individual challenges contained within your submissions. For example, if I upload and certify a CSV with 50 fabric challenge records, the system considers that as one submission containing 50 total challenges. The total challenge count will include a subset of pending, accepted, and rejected fabric challenges. Upon initial upload, your challenges will be listed as pending, and once they have been adjudicated by the FCC, they will be listed as accepted or rejected. It is important to note that the total challenges count will only include a count of challenges within accepted submissions. For example, if you upload a file containing 50 fabric challenges, but that submission is either under review or has been rejected by the FCC, the total challenges count will not include any challenges from that submission. Only once a submission has been accepted will the total challenges count be updated, and the table on this page will be populated within your Fabric Challenge data. To initiate the bulk Fabric Challenge process, clicking the Create Submission button will take you to the first of 3 data upload steps. From here, clicking the Upload button will open a modal that will allow you to upload your challenge data, either in CSV or zip format. Please note that only one Fabric Challenge file can be uploaded at a time, so if you choose to upload a zipped file, that zipped file must only contain a single CSV. To begin the upload process, click the Upload Data button and select the file you wish to upload from your local machine. There are multiple validations performed in your data as the file is processing, including checks for acceptable column names, validations within individual cells, and safeguards against uploading duplicate data. For a complete list of data specifications for bulk Fabric Challenge data, please visit the BDC Help Center. You will also see a reference ID presented to you as your file is being processed. This reference ID is unique for all challenges uploaded within the BDC system. Once your file has completed processing, you will see a green checkmark in the Upload Challenge File card, and you'll notice that the Upload Evidence card has been unlocked. Your file also now contains a status of valid data, and a table has populated on the page previewing the data included within your file. In this instance, you can see that my file had 61 total records, which has been categorized within a file summary table by challenge type here. If I'd like to examine my process data further, I can click on this Download Process Data link to view a CSV. If I don't want to proceed with this file, I can simply click the delete icon to start the process over. If your data looks accurate, you can proceed to the Upload Evidence step by clicking on this card. Within this step, you must provide either an evidence file or an evidence description. This information will assist the FCC with learning more about the challenge records you have included within your submission. You can upload an evidence file by clicking on the Upload File button here, and then selecting a PDF from your local machine. Once that file has finished processing, you will see a status of valid data, and the certified data card at the top of the page will be unlocked. You can also provide an evidence description with your submission by clicking the Edit Description button here. Simply enter your descriptive text and click Save. You can also edit your description by clicking on this button here on the page. Important to note that you must provide either an evidence file or an evidence description to proceed towards the certified data page. On the certified data card, you can view a brief summary of the data you have included within your submission, including challenge file name, record count within your submission, the date you uploaded your data, and whether you have included an evidence file or evidence description. You can also click on this View Map link to preview your submission on a map. Within this map, you will see a file record count and a selected record count, which is based upon your filtered selections. For example, if I filter the map to show only challenges for incorrect location unit count, the selected record count will update, and the map will display all 23 locations where the challenge type equals incorrect location unit count. Hovering my mouse over a location will display a tooltip with information for that individual record. You'll note that each record has been assigned a unique challenge ID, and the tooltip contains additional information related to that challenge, including contact name, address, and an associated fabric location ID. This map behaves the same as other maps within the Broadband Data Collection, allowing you to pan and zoom to view more information on your challenge data. If your challenge data is depicted accurately on the map, you can return to the Certified Data page to complete your submission. Simply click on this Certify button here, read the certification text, and enter your contact information within this modal. You can also click this checkbox here to automatically populate the fields using the information you previously provided on your Entity Information page within the BDC. Once you've completed your contact information, click the Certified Data button to complete your submission. You will now be presented with the Certified Submissions page, which displays a table of all Fabric submissions you've submitted for this FRN. Because this is my first submission for this FRN, my table only includes one row. However, if I were to certify another submission, this table would then display multiple records. You will also see that my status is displayed here as under review, which means that the FCC is currently reviewing the validity of my data. If my submission is accepted by the FCC, this status will be updated to accepted, and the individual challenges included within my submission will be submitted for further review. If my submission is rejected for any reason, this status will be updated to rejected, and my individual challenges will not be submitted for further review. When I return to the Bulk Fabric Challenge page, you can see that my submissions count has been updated to 1, which reflects the under review submission that I just completed. My total challenges count is still 0 and will remain so until I have a submission accepted by the FCC. For this example, I'm going to display what the page will look like when a submission is accepted by the FCC. As I refresh my page, you'll now see that my submissions count displays 1 accepted submission, and my total challenges card now displays a count of 61 records, each of which is pending. I can view each individual challenge within this table on the page, and I can filter the table by selecting one or more of these drop-down menus, or by entering a specific challenge ID or location ID to narrow my search. For each record in the table, I can click this View Details link to see additional information for each challenge. This information includes a date received and status for the challenge at the top of the modal, as well as a map of the location being challenged. The modal also contains additional location data, challenge data, and contact information. At the top of the page, you'll notice two links: Download Challenge Results and View Map. The Download Challenge Results file is a CSV that allows you to download all data depicted in the table on this page. In this instance, my file will only include data related to the lone submission I have certified. However, if I had certified multiple submissions, this file would include data across each of the submissions I have certified. Clicking on the View Map link will display a map of all challenged locations across each of my submissions. Because I've only certified one submission in this example, my map is only displaying the 61 records included in that submission. However, if I had multiple certified submissions, this map would display location points across each of my certified submissions. One additional feature on this map is the ability to filter by status. In this case, all of my location points are listed as pending, as my data was just submitted to the FCC. However, if any of my challenges were accepted or rejected by the FCC, they would be reflected on this map, and I could filter the map by those statuses. Off screen, I'm going to accept one challenge so that I can showcase this feature on the map. See that as I refresh the page, I now have one accepted point on the map, indicated by this green circle. As I hover over the location, you'll see that the tooltip also reflects the updated status for this location point. If I click this accepted checkbox here in the status column, you'll see that the map zooms to the accepted location point. If I return to the Bulk Fabric Challenge page and refresh it, you'll now see that I have one accepted challenge among my 61 total challenges. Within the Bulk Fabric Challenge table, I also have the option to withdraw one or more challenges at a time. For this example, I'm going to click this checkbox for these 3 challenges. Then click the Withdraw button above the table. A modal will appear asking me to confirm my decision, as withdrawing a challenge is an action that cannot be undone. Now that those 3 challenges have been withdrawn, you can see that my total challenges count has diminished by 3. I now have 58 total challenges, with 57 of those pending and 1 of those as accepted. To review any withdrawn challenges, I can click on this Withdrawn link here within the table. You can see that this tab now includes the 3 challenges I withdrew in the previous step. From this page, I can also click on the Certified Submissions link, which displays an archive of every submission I've certified for this FRN. You'll notice that the status for my previous submission now says accepted, where before it was under review. The reference ID is clickable and allows me to review the data I've included in my previous submission. I can download my original challenge file or evidence data by clicking on the link for the file name, and I can view evidence details and certification details that I included within my submission. I can also return to this View Map link here to see a map of data associated with my original submission. This can be useful in cases where multiple submissions have been certified and you'd like to view maps by submission rather than by all challenges associated with your FRN. This concludes the walkthrough of the BDC Bulk Fabric Challenge process. For additional information, including data specifications and video tutorials, please visit the BDC Help Center, which can be accessed at any time by clicking the Help link at the top of the page within the BDC system.